Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, it's Sunday. It's game day, and this is the pregame show. I have my guy D Gifted, and I have my guy Philly Insider Podcast that's going to bring you the inside scoop on the Philadelphia Eagles. What's going on, gentlemen?
Man, what is going on, man? I'm feeling good. I'm hoping we can get a win today. That's where my mindset is.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm feeling good too. I don't know why I've had a gut feeling this weekend. I've been kind of pessimistic on the team as of late, but this weekend I got a feeling. So we'll see.
Maybe because this is probably one of our easiest games in the past 5 weeks. Maybe that's why you feel a little optimistic. Hey, look, all real talk. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles should win this game. I'm not going to say a blowout or nothing like that. A win is a win. As long as we win this game, we should be in good shape. All right. So without further ado, hey, let's get into it. All right. So the first thing, this is the injury report, the last one I've seen from Friday. Good news is Dallas Goedert. He was limited, but he is back on the Philadelphia Eagles. He should be the main focus today. They always say that a young quarterback best friend is a tight end. Zach Ertz is no longer with the Philadelphia Eagles, so Dallas Goedert should be featured a lot in this game. What do y'all think?
I'm gonna let Hunter go first.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the Raiders have a really good defense, but the tight end defense is not that strong, and I think it comes down to Sirianni also making him a focal point of the playbook too, because I think he hasn't exactly been focused on, and I think there's also been opportunities that Hurts just hasn't seen him, which is, common for a young quarterback, so got to get that fixed up. But, I absolutely think he should be a focal point today, and, just any way you can get him involved, whether it's just play action and slipping him out into space, or whether it's just getting him into the intermediate part of the field, just little things like that, I think that'll help our offense move down the field.
Yeah,
man, I have to agree 100%. Just on the strength that it's Dallas Goedert, and this is a tight end that's been consistently proven that he's supposed to be that guy. Coming into this season, everybody thought Zach Ertz had a chance to prove itself that he is still that guy, and we saw he's still not a blocker, but he can somewhat be effective in the catching game. And two, we know Dallas Goedert, he really wants this contract. When I remember watching him throughout the offseason, one of the main things that he was talking about, he was like, hey, look, my agent, handles that. But you can just tell in his demeanor that he's not playing about this contract. He don't know what they got going, what they had going on with Zach Ertz, but he know at the end of the day, look, I'm trying to play here. I thought we was gonna have our contract extended, and it's not there yet. But I'm glad to see and see him more of a focal point, because they was supposed to be splitting the reps. I think Zach Ertz was 50-50, but I think Zach Ertz was getting about 30 snaps, and Dallas Goedert was getting barely 20 plus. You know what I mean? So with that being said, those 30 snaps that Zach Ertz was getting, now all that is going to be to Dallas Goedert. So it's going to be interesting to see him actually prove that he is worthy of a big contract. So I know that he's supposed to be a focal point in this offense, but my concern is Coach Nick Sirianni not being able to coach and scheme and put these guys in position to be effective. We have a guy like Devontae Smith. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent here, but we got a guy like Devontae Smith, who is a top wide receiver, and we can't even get him open. Can we actually get the ball to Dallas Goedert? I don't know.
Well, look, hey, I feel like that the tight ends, Zach Ertz or Goddard, they play better without the other one there. Because I feel like that, hey, when they play by themselves, they know for a fact, I'm the guy, I'm getting the ball. So we'll see how the Dallas Goedert era kicks off today. I mean, that's what it is. So how do y'all feel about Jalen Hurts going into this game?
Yeah, look, I think this is, again, another tough defense he's going up against. A defense that I don't think people expected to be that tough coming into the season, but it's really taken a step forward. I mean, the pass rush, they get home with 4 consistently. They have the lowest blitz rate in the league, but I think they still have a top 10 pressure rate. They get home. Max Crosby has been one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league this year, and that's not up for debate. And they have depth there. I know they're going to be without Quentin Jefferson today, but Jonathan Hankins is coming back. They've got Yannick Ngakoue on the other side. Solomon Thomas has kind of revived his career as, former third overall pick, but he's really come a long way. And they've got other guys behind all those guys. They've got depth there. And the linebacker core, Denzel Perryman is leading the league in tackles. He's also, according to Next Gen Stats, leading in run stuffs and defensive stops to go for negative plays. So that's not going to be easy. You got Littleton in there alongside him who can cover your number one receiver. And their corner position, they've been decimated, but Casey Hayward's the number one corner according to PFF. And last week they had a guy, Brandon Faison, who stepped up and really did the job. This week they signed Desmond Trufant. They're going to get him in there. And Nate Hobbs, a rookie, who's been one of the top 5 rookies in the league this year. I think he's been the number 1 rated rookie in corners, and actually probably one of the top 10 corners right now based on how he's played. And back deep, they've got Trayvon Moehrig, who can pretty much take away any post route, any deep route that you're going to run at him. He's going to play that single high roll all game. And Jonathan Abrams is going to kind of sit in the box, and they're going to try to stop the run that way. Now, the run defense hasn't been that good, so maybe that's where Jalen can get his legs going a little bit. But it's going to be another test for Jalen. Against man coverage, they're going to go cover 1 and go single high. I mean, can he kind of pick his matchups and pick and choose and see who's open? Because I think there's been times where he's kind of missed opportunities versus man coverage. And against zone, is he going to be able to hit those intermediate routes accurately? I think that's what it comes down to today. So Jalen, again, he's having a lot of common problems for a young quarterback, but we do need to start to see some improvement in those areas and see him continue to progress. So hopefully, I think a lot of people like to say, oh, it's Sirianni's fault. Oh, it's Hurt's fault. I think it's a little bit of both. I'd probably assign a little more blame to the coach because the coach is coaching him how to read these RPOs and all this stuff. It is on him. And it's also on him to roll his quarterback out where he's comfortable and get his quarterback comfortable a lot, which I think he needs to do a little bit more of. But I do think there's things Jalen can clean up. And I think this is going to be a really good test for him, but also a nice test in that our offensive line has handled things a little bit better in recent weeks. I'd say, considering the challenges we've had, they've done a really, really nice job, especially with how many guys at the line of scrimmage the Panthers and Bucs have had. Now, this is not going to be easy because all 4 guys, whoever's out there for the Raiders, can get home. But I do think that Jalen will be able to kind of be a little more comfortable knowing that his offensive line is healthier too now. We'll see how Johnson does coming off of, not being out there for a little bit. But I do think that he can hopefully be a little more comfortable. They can handle this, weather the storm with that defensive line. And I think that this is a good opportunity compared to the past couple of weeks where I just kind of expected him to struggle. I think he is going to have opportunities to play well this week.
Yeah. I definitely agree 100%, man. The question was about the defensive line and the pressure, right?
Like Jalen Hurts, how you feel that he's going to do this game?
Oh yeah, well yeah, that still got to do with the pressure because Jalen Hurts, he is the type of person that we see so far. He likes to evade the rush, or sometimes he can run out of the pocket a little too fast, which can ultimately create a lot of issues for the offensive line. So that is something that I do feel like he has to get better at. But like you said, this is a defense or a team that he's definitely going to have opportunities. This is a defense that loves to play cover 3, which is definitely the type of defense that we can do screens on. This might be the type of game where the screens actually might work. I don't want to see that. I want to see more of a traditional, type of ran team. But this, like I said, this might be a game that the screens and stuff actually works. Now, Jalen Hurts still needs to be able to perform. Now, one thing that Jalen Hurts has definitely proved this whole season is that he can be a playmaker, and that's one thing that I do firmly believe. And you brought up a lot of great points about the Raiders and their defense, but one thing for sure, they gave up a whole bunch of yards to Teddy Bridgewater. And if Teddy Bridgewater can make plays, Jalen Hurts definitely can make plays. If Teddy Bridgewater can throw for 334 yards, Jalen Hurts definitely can throw for 300 yards. And if Teddy can throw 3 touchdowns, Jalen Hurts definitely can throw 3 touchdowns because we got a lot more weapons than what the Broncos had. It's all up to Coach Nick Sirianni to put these guys in position. That's I know a lot of people gonna say Jalen Hurts definitely has to play better. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I want to believe in Jalen Hurts. Trust me, I want to believe. I want to root for him. But when I gotta call it like I see it, I saw a bad bad throw to Zach Ertz, man. Like it was terrible. I promise you, bro. I promise you, bro. I really try to look for something to believe in when I see that deep ball go deep, and I don't see nothing, bro. I don't see nothing. It's a duck in the air. You know, Jalen Hurts definitely has to get better. Last game, Jalen Hurts only threw for 115 yards last game, averaging 4.4 yards per attempt. That ain't good, you know what I mean? And like I said, they can be due to a lot of things, you know, the play calling, whatever. But when the opportunity is there, that's one thing that they're going to be evaluating. Is it because the fact still remain that opportunity was there. What are you doing with the opportunities? This is the game that I feel like I made a video stating that this Nick Sirianni must win, but in all reality, it's a game that Jalen Hurts have to win too. You know what I'm saying? This is a game because at the end of the day, this is a evaluation year. I hope that the pressure doesn't amount on him too much where he get the pressing, because that's what is showing when he's trying to evade the pressure so fast. He's pressuring, he's thinking too much. He's not that cool, calm, and collective Jalen Hurts that we all used to.
Hey, before I go, real quick, if y'all watching this right here, I got my guy, Philly Insider Podcast. You know, he goes by Hunter. He actually does, you know, writing for the Philadelphia Eagles Insider and stuff like that. So go show him some love. His link is in the chat. And also my guy, D Gifted, you know, he's dropping the fire. He has his own show. So, just go subscribe to all these good content creators because, like I said, every Sunday, you know, throughout the week, we all drop shows, and make sure y'all hit that notification bell so y'all will exactly know when they drop some fire content and go live. So, but look, I have to agree with all y'all, man. Look, I think that Jalen Hurts, this game, we had to see more. The past two games, he done threw for like 115, 100 something yards. And look, it's all good and all, but when you have the ball in your hands every single play and you refuse to give it up, because the last game that I was at the stadium, and I was watching because I was so far high, so I was able to see the holes that was being opened. The RPOs, if Jalen Hurts give the ball up, Miles Sanders could eat in this offense because the lanes are open. You saw the more he started giving Miles Sanders the ball during the RPOs, he started going for 8, 14 yards a pop. I mean, the play is there. He just needs to stop pressing a little bit. Yes, this is his audition year. And slowly every game, I feel like he's starting to hear the rumors more and more and more. Yeah. Is he the guy? Is he going to be gone next year?
He heard
much. Yeah. I mean, he's a human being. Regardless how you try to, just put it in the back burner and just block it off. He hears the rumors. He be hearing the words. So I think that he's trying to do a little bit too much, which is making Miles Sanders mad, making the fans mad. Man. So if he start giving up the ball to Miles Sanders some more, I mean, we should have a good game. But also, I blame Nick Sirianni. Take the ball off Jalen Hurts' hands. Take the ball out of his hands. Go the traditional route, a single back, I formation. Give the ball up. Do not put so much on Jalen Hurts' plate. Where he had literally every play, he got to think about three things. Handing it off, running it, or passing it. Why do that? This is only going to be his 10th
in his rookie season.
Basically. You know what I mean? So why do that? I watch every other team, the Denver Broncos, and you said the Gifted that if Teddy Bridgewater could throw for this, but guess what they was doing? They was running the ball. They had Gordon and they had the other back running the ball. So of course you could keep the Raiders, honest if you're running the ball. But if you're not running the ball, and regardless, it could be Darnold or Bridgewater. We're not those teams. We don't run the ball. Jalen Hurts is leading the league. Well, our team in rushing. What kind of crap is that? So I want to see him manage the game, pass. When the pass is there, pass the ball and throw the ball deep. Don't be afraid to throw the ball deep. And And I'm tired of seeing Jalen Hurts trying to wait for the wide receivers to get open instead of throwing them open. This is not college anymore.
Yeah.
This is not Alabama or Oklahoma. Nobody is going to be running wide open. You need to believe in that route and throw.
Believe in your arm and your accuracy, all of that. And you know what's so crazy? One of the things that's so scary, I wanted to say this before I forget. One of the things that's so scary, I believe, the type of offense that we're running, is the type of offense that they was running the type of offense that they ran in Oklahoma when Jalen Hurts was there. Mm-hmm. So for him still not to be able to perform or make the right reads with this RPO, hand the ball off to Miles Sanders or throw the ball or whatever the case may be, if he's not even making the right decisions in the offense that he originally ran in Oklahoma, that's signs of a guy that is obviously pressing. And like I said, that's why this game is going to be real important. We need to see him. The pressure shouldn't be so obvious. Him running outside of the pocket, you know what I'm saying? That really makes a quarterback that I want to believe in look crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think something I want to ask you guys. Well, first off, I want to say too, look, I mean, we're going to be in position to draft Matt Corral this year in the first round. That's a guy who I was high on at the end of last year, and I don't know how he ended up being the best quarterback in the class thus far. He made me look really, really smarter than I probably thought I was. But anyway, and I'm not cheering against Jalen. I want Jalen to be the guy. Like you said, D-Gift, when I see that deep ball, everything in me hopes it's going to be that Quez Watkins pass against Carolina every time, right? But, we have 3 first-round picks, and even if those picks move back, we're going to have the capital to move up and get our guy too. So if even though it's only his sophomore year, and almost his audition year, rookie year, they are going to be in position to get their guy if they want to. So he's got to show that he's better, because Howie's not going to be afraid to go get his guy if he falls in love with a quarterback. He's got to be able to show that it's, that he can be the guy, or that he at least deserves a third year. And I think right now he's still got a lot more to show, and there's a long season left to do that. But I want to ask you guys too, going along with the play calling, like you said, JC, get under center and give Miles the ball for one.
Right.
Too. Also, because I think he's been really good under center when he's been under center last year too, and the years past.
Come on, man! I'm sorry, cut you out. It's a traditional offense, bro. This is the NFL. If you how in the world that you in the NFL and you don't line up under center not one time, bro, not one time. That's unheard of. I'm gonna let you finish because I got a question to ask you too.
You're good. No, I completely agree, and it also comes down to we're on the literally 1/4 yard line last week against the Bucs, and it takes us 3 plays to get in because we're going out of shotgun the whole time. But anyway, that stuff I can't excuse Sirianni for, and there's a lot I can't excuse him for. But I also do want to ask you guys to an extent, because I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. I don't really have an opinion either way. I have thoughts on it, but do you guys think that Jalen Hurts' ability right now is limiting some of the play calling in some aspects, and that Sirianni can't expand the playbook enough to where he might be able to with another quarterback? Or do you think it's, maybe it's a little bit of both too? But what are your guys' thoughts on that?
All right, real quick. Hey, did Jalen Hurts look better last year under Doug Peterson or this year under Nick Sirianni? I feel like that
he looked better under Doug Peterson.
If for him to go out there,
he looked like an NFL quarterback. In this offense, he looks like a college quarterback.
Almost beat the Cardinals with that offense last year.
Yeah, and we beat
man. He looked good. Defense. That Cardinals game, even though we lost it, I promise you that was my favorite game of Jalen Hurts because he battled, bro.
We was down by 16. He brought us back.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game.
Man, yeah.
So I think that it's Nick Sirianni, man. I think coaching is everything. You have to call the plays according to the guy that you have. The RPO worked with Nick Foles. You know what I mean? Nick Foles was an RPO type of guy. Even though that everybody know that he was not going to run, but some odd reason the RPO was working for him. But Jalen Hurts, because he's not a pocket passer. You know what I mean? So it will work great if he was a pocket passer where he could deliver the ball in time. but this is only his 10th game. So Nick Sirianni needs to use Miles Sanders, use Kenneth Gainwell, use your tools. You lied to us.
He lied to us.
You came to this team. You got hired talking about, I'm going to use my guys. I feel like I got catfish. Like, you know what I mean?
He did, man. He did.
You told me one thing about, hey, we're gonna use our guys to the best of their abilities, and you're not using nobody. Like, you're not even using Jalen Hurts the proper way.
He wasting downs with a screen on the first down, screen on the second down, and one of them to the left, one of them to the right, and then he want to finally attack. That's wasting downs. That's putting pressure. You see that play calling like that. That's what made guys check out. That's what make guys check out. Period. When the coach is doing things like that. Now, Hunter, was your question? You say
Jalen's ability limiting any of Sirianni's play calling?
See, I thought that was a great question because a lot of people keep asking it, and the fact is, if Jalen Hurts can't do it, we don't know it because coach ain't never tried it. How you gonna say that's like saying that to me, with me not even seeing anything? That's like him saying he can't do something that he never even tried. He's saying he can't do something that he never even tried. I don't care what you tried in practice, but you have not tried nothing in the game. So don't tell me what Jalen Hurts can't do or what he can do when you ain't even tried. He hasn't even tried. I'm glad JC brought up Doug Peterson last year. That's a great freaking point. He looked way better in Doug Peterson offense because, it's more traditional. It wasn't eliminating, basically the other elements of the game. Coach Nick Sirianni is not helping these guys at all. You say, is it limited? No, Coach Nick Sirianni is limiting the team himself. He's limiting the team himself. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and one of the most interesting facts that I heard was Jalen Hurts threw a total of 208 passes. And out of all 208 passes, you want to know how many of them passes came in between the hash marks? 6. Wow. 6 passes in between the hash marks. That's eliminating part of the whole game. If you only throwing it to the left side and the right side of the field and maybe a little bit of run, that's making your offense so much more predictable, and that's stunting Jalen Hurts' growth because the defense knows exactly what is going on. He's stunting Jalen Hurts' growth so bad. Jalen Hurts can't even run the offense that he ran in Oklahoma effectively because he thinking too much. He pressing too much. It's all on Coach Nick Sirianni. Not all on Coach Nick Sirianni, but most of it is Coach Nick Sirianni. And when you got a young quarterback that's pressing, of course he gonna miss throws. Of course he gonna miss the extra throws. We seen Carson Wentz miss easy throws when he start pressing. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about Coach Nick Sirianni. He himself is limiting the offense for sure.
Yeah, look, I hear you. Hey, Patty. She said something, but under Doug, he had no pressure this year. Is all on him. It's not all on him. It's the coach just putting it all on Jalen. So, the fact that we have the talent on this offense for everybody to eat. Mm-hmm. So it's not on Jalen Hurts. It's Nick Sirianni. He waited all his life to be at this position. He never called plays at no other level. He waited so long, and he's making sure he take every advantage of calling plays, even if he goes down in flame. But he gonna say, "Hey, I went down calling what I wanted to call,
for real,
not what somebody else wanted me to call." So I feel like it's not all on Jalen Hurts. It's up to the coach to use everybody around him.
Hey, let me ask y'all this too. This since we on Coach Nick Sirianni, we've been on Jalen Hurts. Oh, this is an evaluation year for Jalen Hurts. Okay, well, we already know the coach ain't putting him in the best position. We already know the coach ain't even lining him up under center to even make it look anything like a traditional offense. We know this don't look anything like no NFL offense whatsoever.
And we lost him. But real quick, all right. So Miles Sanders,
he was about
right?
to go in, man.
I know. Hey, Miles Sanders, all right. The trade deadline is coming up. Yes, there's been rumored that Miles Sanders is on trade block. I mean, like I haven't heard it from the coaches or anybody like that. But I think that people is assuming because he's probably mad that he's not being used a lot. And Miles Sanders and Dillard. So what do you think is going to happen at this trade deadline? Are we going to be buyers or sellers, or does it depend if we win this game? We lose this game, we are 2-5.
Yeah. If we lose this game, we're absolutely sellers. Even if we win this game, I
this
think
is our schedule right here. So we lose this game today. The Lions next week, and the Chargers, the Broncos. So if we win this game, we could go on a winning streak. But if we lose this game, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think we're going to be we have 2 games before the deadline. Yeah, because it's November 2nd, right?
Yeah, November 2nd.
So I mean, if we do win the next 2 games, I could see us being buyers, but I think regardless, we're going to sell a guy or two. I mean, we've already sold one guy, obviously. That was kind of in the making for a long time, regardless of whether we were buyers or sellers. And I also think Dillard has kind of been in the making, and him playing well kind of solidifies it. Look, he played outside of the Bucs game. He didn't play too well in that game, but like he played really well in the time he had, and it was almost a blessing in disguise that he was able to get out there and play at left tackle. Look, I mean, I think Dillard has proven from this year and even back in his rookie year, he is a starting caliber left tackle in the league. That's just a fact. I mean, he is good enough to be an everyday starter, I think. Now, will he be, a franchise left tackle? Will he be an all-pro, Pro Bowler? Those are questions you get answered down the road, right? As long, once he plays a full season, which is also another question mark. But I do think he's got trade value. It sounds like I heard today a report that we could get a second-round pick possibly for him. So, I mean, I think Dillard is definitely
a
possibility. No, Dillard. Sanders, I think, is just kind of speculation. I think he's I think Sanders is not going anywhere. I mean, maybe next year because he's going to be on his contract year, but I don't think they're willing, even though they don't use Sanders enough, I don't think they're willing to give him up in year 3 when they still got another year and they could possibly get rid of him next year. And I do think they're going to try to re-sign him. I don't know if he's going to want to re-sign. I don't know how those talks are going to go. That's something we'll get answered down the road, but I do think they want to re-sign Sanders, though. But Dillard, I think, is definitely on the block just because he really only plays left tackle, and you don't need just a backup left tackle. You can get a swing tackle for that, even though Dillard is really good at what he does, as he's shown in the few games he played outside of the Bucs game this year. And I think he's got value to be a starter on another team that needs him.
So D-Gifted, the question was, if we lose this game, because you see our schedule right here, if we lose this game, when November 2nd come up, are we buyers or sellers? Because we have an opportunity to win this game, beat the Lions, and now we at 500 at 4-4. Yeah. So, and then we got the Chargers. Anything could happen. Then the Broncos. And we've seen the Broncos. And they started off 3-0, and they're 0-4 right now. So, I mean, ever since that start. And then the Saints is going to be the Saints. And then we got the Giants, the Jets. So if we win this game, we could be buyers, or do you think if we lose this game, we are trading everybody? Like, basically, and let's wrap it up, and let's get what we could get with the veterans, a Dillard or Sanders even been, trade rumor. But I really don't think we're going to trade Sanders. But we'll see what happens. But what do you think? If we win this game, where do we go? If we lose this game, where do we go?
Honestly, I think we will be sellers. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't necessarily agree with it, just on the strength that I honestly believe that we still have like some key pieces in position to allow us to still be competitive. We already have a lot of picks along the first few rounds, you know what I mean? So, I mean the first round actually, and so it's just like I don't want to get rid of too much of the team when we're gonna be already adding a whole bunch of great talent from early on in the draft that would complement a lot of the pieces that we already got now. So I'm just like, if we go that route, that's almost like just turn down the team, and I feel like we'll be even worse than what we are now because we wouldn't have the the assets to complement the rookie pieces that we got, because we already see what having a lot of rookies look like on the team. You see what I'm saying? So I don't feel like that's a good recipe for anything in as far as success in the near future.
All right.
And I think JC, real quick too, I just want to say, like, I think the nice thing is about this is, like, in baseball, you might give up like 4 or 5 guys or acquire 4 or 5 guys at the deadline, right? Whereas here it's like we might just give up Dillard at the deadline, or you might even just stand pat. A lot of teams don't do anything too. So, and I think something for optimism too is like, look, I don't think we're a playoff team this year, not yet at least. I think we still got a lot of work to do, but like that NFC wildcard spot, the last one is never good. And it was not good last year. It was the Bears at 8-8. Now there's an extra spot. It's the 7 seed, Right now, I believe the Vikings have it at 3-3. Vikings are inconsistent. I think the Saints are ahead of them. The Saints aren't the Saints that they usually are, right? And ahead of them, it's the Rams. Look, the 4 seed, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 NFC West teams in there. That's the bottom line. That's just how that division is. But look, I mean, even if you give up assets, like I don't think you're taking yourself out of the playoff race either, right? Because you're going to have, if the Vikings are going to be there, look, the Vikings they've been our team. Like, we've owned them. Outside of, like, obviously 2018, we didn't beat them in the regular season, but we won our last game and they lost to the Bears and we got the best of it. So, like, just for the jokes alone, I mean, it'd be great to overtake the Vikings at some point if it comes down to that. But just to have a third thing on them after the Super Bowl in 2018 and this. But look, I mean, if this team starts clicking by the end of the year, you never know what can happen with all those divisional games coming up. I don't think we're going to take the division, but those are a lot of winnable games at the end of the year. Look, New York does not look good. We get the Jets at that point. We've got, the football team has not been the same team. I mean, we'll see how Fitzmagic does, but he's always putting a lot of balls up for risk and 50-50 balls and all that. So, there's a lot to be figured out, but, I think you could definitely make the case that they could still be competing, even just to give some Eagles fans some optimism.
Yeah, and Patrick is probably saying exactly what you just said. He said, well, maybe they tried it in practice, and they think that Hurts is not even close to being able to try those other things you talked about. See, I also thought it was all on Sirianni, but I'm starting to think that maybe Hurts just isn't capable of running any other offense that's the RPO besides the RPO. I mean, it's hard to tell because the whole season so far, all we've been seeing was RPOs.
That's what
I don't even know what he's capable of doing.
Let
me see something else. Let me see something else besides the RPO, and then maybe I can say, yeah, he's not the guy. He can't run no other offense. Hey, let's find somebody else. Hey, let's give Minshew a shot or Flacco and whatever because the season is lost. But I need
Greg
to
Ward,
more Greg Ward or Tyree Jackson. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, let's give everybody a shot.
Wayne Johnson.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to say, like, we don't know what he's capable of doing because he throws even early on this year, he threw for their 200-300 yards. So he could throw the ball. Yeah. It's just the RPOs are so predictable that they don't run no traditional offense.
Yeah. And I'm glad we still on Nick Sirianni because before I had technical difficulties, I was going on Nick Sirianni, and the main thing that I remember where I was going was the fact that we was talking so much about Jalen Hurts and starting to see that's the thing. When we already know it's Nick Sirianni now, everybody gotta look for something else and start. Well, maybe Jalen Hurts ain't doing this with the RPO. No, he shouldn't be doing RPOs at all that much. Like that's why I was going to say, just as much as this is an evaluation year for Jalen Hurts, I'm definitely evaluating Coach Nick Sirianni. He ain't earned no type of respect. As a matter of fact, he ain't even won a home game. He gets no respect from me so far. None. So how y'all feel about Coach Nick Sirianni? How y'all feel about this being an evaluation year for him? Like, how confident are you in him so far this season? And to even considering him being the coach next year, since we looking at Jalen Hurts and if he should be, that guy next year for us. How y'all feel about Coach?
I don't even know how to feel about him. Like all I know that he's like right now so far. I know that Doug Pearson did not love to run the ball a lot, but damn, he ran the ball. like he ran the ball at least a little bit, even if he didn't never stuck with it, but he ran the ball. So I just want to see, is it Nick Sirianni play calling? I mean, the only way we could see that, I think somebody said, hey, bench Jalen Hurts, put another quarterback in there and see if is it a Nick Sirianni or is it Jalen Hurts? That's the biggest question.
Or how about just do something different? Just try a traditional way, see if it works, and you be like, see, he can't do this and he can't do this. So we try to simplify it whatsoever, but it's no way to know if you're not giving us nothing to evaluate. This supposed to be an evaluation year. First of all, this is not even all about Jalen Hurts this season. Is as much as he is the focal point, this isn't what Howie Roseman say. This is a transitional year, basically reevaluating a lot of pieces on this team. So how can we can't even evaluate the quarterback properly because the team ain't even in the right position. We can hardly evaluate the wide receivers or we can't. It's hard to judge Miles Sanders. He averaging 4 points some yards a carry each game. You know what I mean? But it's hard to evaluate him because he barely getting touches because because Coach Nick Sirianni ain't even putting these guys in position.
All right, so hey, I want to address this question real quick. Y'all ain't got no patience, basically. All right, so Jason, tell me, if you're an Eagles fan, have you ever seen an Eagle team not run the ball at all? What patience do you expect the fans to have if basically this team is so one-dimensional? Just one, it's just RPO,
it's
RPO. I've never seen this type of offense. Yeah, I've never seen this type of offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. So us not having no patience is us not seeing no improvement week to week. Run the ball. Like it's a whole chant. Run the ball. Like people making shirts, people making money off run the ball. So how much patience do you expect people to have if there's no improvement week to week? Who are we evaluating? How can we know exactly? Wait, are we being patient with Jalen? Are we being patient with Nick Sirianni? Who are we being patient with? We don't know. There's no improvement. Every week is the exact same thing. RPO. Today, I want to see. Look, they had 10 days. 10 days to get ready for today. All right, a little mini bye.
Hey,
so I want to see them run the ball and see if Nick Sirianni been listening to all the fans, the media, the past 10 days. I just want to see something different.
I got a question for both of y'all. That's perfect. How many carries do y'all think Miles Sanders is going to have in this game today?
I want to say 20.
20?
I want to say 20. 10. I want to say 20. You know why? Because 10 days. Remember, 10 days over a loss, after a loss.
Hunter, what you got to say?
I think he's getting 13. I don't think he's getting above 15. And here's what I'll kind of say going along with what you guys said too. Like, it's frustrating to me because when I looked at Sirianni when he came in, I saw, his track record. When he was the quarterback's coach in Kansas City, like first starting out, Matt Castle had one of his best seasons and did not get sacked very often because they got the ball out quick. And then you go to his time in San Diego where he was wide receivers coach, quarterback's coach with Philip Rivers. But when he was a wide receivers coach, Keenan Allen had his best year as a wide receiver ever. And Travis Benjamin had his best year. Like Dontrell Inman, like guys who people don't really know about, like had like 800-yard, 500-yard years. And then he goes to Indianapolis and you see him and Reich with three different quarterbacks, employed three different offenses, and they have a lot of success. And then he comes here and does not run the ball at all with any balance. And it frustrates me too, because last week you see him, the Bucs had a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage and what's called sim pressures, right? They're trying to simulate pressures and then they're going to bail out a few guys pre-snap or post-snap. And then it's going to be a little troubled. It's going to be a little tough for the offensive line to diagnose, but also the quarterback when he's setting up his protection too. But then he finally goes with that wide zone game where it's designed to get Miles out on the edge. But then because of that, when you're horizontally displacing, laterally displacing all those guys on the sim pressures at the line of scrimmage, those cutback lanes in the middle opened up. And that's when Miles And that last drive, he had like a 20-yard run. He had an 8-yard run. He had a 6-yard run. And they started getting him going. So as much as I have been a supporter of Sirianni from the offseason to, until week 3 when he stopped running the ball, I think it's frustrating because I know he knows better. And it's frustrating also because he realized so late last week and against the Panthers too. I think something that frustrates me is that people get on Miles Sanders for going out of bounds, but the man hasn't been in the game at all. So maybe if he had been in the game more, he'd have a little more situational awareness. Now, there also is, I've been a baseball player. You get called upon to pinch hit, you got to know the situation. So Miles still gets blamed for that. Absolutely. But I do wish that, they would just go with what's working a little bit more against two teams who have similar pressure schemes. And this week, the Raiders do put a lot of guys in the box, but they still surrender a lot of yards to the run. And I think even just getting under center, and there's a play where they have a jet sweep coming across. They fake the handoff to the jet sweep, and Jalen comes around on a boot, and Miles sprints out to the flat. Now, if you're going against man, they're going to go cover one. Miles is going to beat his guy to the flat, no matter who it is. That's just a fact. And if it's zone, you can have two routes over top of that so that either Miles is open underneath and you can let him go to work, or you're going to have that intermediate route open. And, hey, if Jalen misses it, that's on him. But you got to at least, I think he has been calling that. He called one – Sirianni did call that once last week, but it is frustrating to me because I want to have patience, and as a fan who's very reactionary, I don't, because I want it when I'm in the moment. I don't want to see patience. I want to see it fixed right now. But I do think there's been a lot of coaches that have started out rough and have kind of gotten better. And Josh Allen started out rough. I'm not saying that I'm not saying Sirianni is Andy Reid. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is Josh Allen at all. But I'm hoping that with time they do get better. But again, like you guys said, if they're still running the ball like under 10 times by the end of the season, that something's got to be fixed. Because at some point you have to just go not RPO and just let him go under center. Because that's something that doesn't even involve Jalen, right? Just get him under center and involve the Miles. Like, that doesn't matter about Jalen's play style. And if you get him rolling out on that bootleg, like, that's something Jalen is good at, rolling out too. It's something
so frustrating, man.
Right. There's things you can incorporate with him in a pro style offense, or not just the Oklahoma style offense that he would probably still be comfortable with. So I think that's what frustrates me a lot. Just to go on a little tangent there.
All right, so Patty, real quick, and she does have a good point. Is it Sirianni not wanting to run the ball, or is it the front office that's looking for this flashy, expensive type of offense? Like, is it Nick, or is it Howie and Jeffrey Lurie?
Look, I feel like it gotta be somewhat the front office, because I'm gonna say this: Coach Nick Sirianni is not that illiterate. Like, he knows that part of running an NFL offense is running the ball. Look, I wonder how these meetings go, because they do have meetings after every game. What is they talking about? What is he saying? What is it? Is he like, man, you should have threw it some more? Or is he like, man, you should have tried running it? Like, you heard so much how Howie Roseman wants a high-powered offense. And so it just kills me to know that these guys talk after every game and the same thing happening. So if the same thing happening, this gotta be what Coach Howie Roseman wants. This guy must feel like, hey, you need to do a better job with pass play calling. I don't care you not running the ball. Do better with your pass play calling and get it together. That's what I feel like the front office is doing, because I'm seeing the same thing after every meeting. If Howie Roseman had a message for him to get something done, he's the boss. You do what the boss wants. So if he's coming out doing the same thing, he gotta be. He just like, come on, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. My bad, JC.
No, go ahead.
My buddy, who's a Browns expert, big Browns fan, love him, and he talked a lot about how last year, because of COVID, the front office couldn't come into the building for game day operations stuff and game planning and all that. And what do you know, is Stefanski. I mean, obviously Stefanski there, being the offense is going to look better anyway, but They went a lot Shanahan style. It was very run heavy, wide zone, and they had a lot of success last year for the first time in a while. And obviously there was more than just the front office not being there, right? But and I'm not going to speculate. I'll never know. We'll never know if the front office, like how much involvement they do have. But I mean, you have to believe there could be some involvement there because maybe they want to evaluate the guys more. That's a possibility. Like people have said, like Lurie definitely wants. I think he likes the pass heavy offense, and I think he's brought in a lot of West Coast guys, and West Coast should be more balanced than it's been with us. But I think he definitely does like the pass heavy offense a little bit more. And it's a changing league today. Like also that's part of it. Like it's definitely going more 11 personnel. There's not really a lot of teams that go very run heavy anymore. There's definitely some. They're not in the minority, I would say, but like it's not like they're in the majority anyway. So it's I like Patty said, like people forget successful offenses still have a run game, and the run game is so important in the league because play action can be run without the run game, but it's also deadly when you have a lethal run game because they really have to respect it a little bit more. I definitely think that it's whatever it is, it's frustrating.
All right. So what's your biggest concern going into this matchup today? Later on today, what is your biggest concern? Offensive side and on defensive side. Just give me one on both sides.
Honestly, if I have to give one on each side, I'm gonna have offensively, I gotta go with Coach Nick Sirianni play calling. If the defense knows what's coming, if I'm watching the game and I can tell the defense knows what's coming, I'm not gonna have any expectation for Jalen Hurts to suddenly, just start balling out because, like I said, everything is predictable. So on offense, it's the play calling from Coach Nick Sirianni. On defense, I have to go with
like this right here.
Like on defense, we definitely have to. I'm gonna have to say my biggest concern have to be the pressure. Us getting pressure on the quarterback because we do good. Our defense has been okay, not great. You know what I'm saying, but it's been okay. I believe our pass defense is ranked 5th in yards allowed, which is 211, and 5th in yards per attempt. So, for the most part, we can handle the pass, but we not getting no pressure. And so far, the only consistent pressure that we've been getting is Javon Hargrave. This is a guy who's coming into the game with 6 sacks. You know what I'm saying? Six sacks, and I think 9 QB hits. That's a dog. I think we're going into week 7. That means he at least averaging at least a sack a game. I don't know where Fletcher Cox is, but eventually
he got 1 sack.
Yeah. So he eventually must gonna start taking recognition into that, start sliding over to Javon Hargrave's side, which should do some wonders for Fletcher Cox, open up some lanes for him because we seen what that looked like when the Panthers tried sliding over to Javon Hargrave, and that let Fletcher Cox go one-on-one, and he got a sack instantly. So with that being said, my biggest concern is really the pass rush because we ranked 22nd in pressure. That's damn near the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? And Derek Carr is nothing to play with. This is a guy who is an established captain, an established leader, coming off a real good game, throwing 349 yards. He's hot. They team is on fire. He averaged 300 plus yards a game. So, like I said, this is a game we have to get that pressure for sure.
Yeah, look, I mean, on offense, it's got to be the same thing. Like they got to find ways to get the run game going, especially because this is a team that likes to put extra guys in the box, but still struggles against the run, which is really confusing to me because they have a lot of good run stoppers in there. But for whatever reason, they do struggle against the run. So that's my biggest concern, and also just hopefully finding ways for these wide receivers to get open. Especially, I want to see Rager. And Rager, I think, does well in those curl routes, those comebacks, all those outside releasing routes. But there's still stuff he struggles with, obviously. And I want to see him get more involved, whether he's in the slot or outside. Their second cornerback position is going to be a little shaky. I think their slot position, if they have Amik Robertson in there, that's a big difference between him and Nate Hobbs because Amik Robertson has not been what they hoped he would be in year 2. So whether it's him or Quez, who can do the damage as the second guy today. And I think biggest concern on defense has got to be similar to you, D-Gifted. I mean, pretty much the same thing. They've got to get pressure because Derek Carr is the guy who, in the past, by Kurt Warner, I saw film breakdown, and by just Raiders breakdowns in general, he struggled to get the ball down the field. Now, he a lot of times likes to just stay conservative, take the underneath pass. But when he does, he had this year, like he's been taking risks. He's been throwing up 50-50 balls to guys like Waller and Brian Edwards. And when he's willing to try to fit the ball into the tight windows, he is a much different quarterback. And he has been this year. I think he had 7 throws over 20 yards last week. And that was because he was well protected by that offensive line, and they brought extra guys in to protect for him. Now, if you get to Derek Carr and you hit him, he is a different quarterback, and he will go to that conservative style. And with that cover 2, with those 5 guys underneath, that's not going to happen against us. But if he is protected with our safety situation right now, no Anthony Harris today. McLeod hasn't been back for too long. And I like Elijah Riley. I think he played really well in the preseason. But, first game up, that's a little bit of a concern. And Marcus Epps, he always is due for a couple mistakes each game. That's a concern for me because I don't worry about our corners. I worry with that too high that we play a lot of the time. Those safeties getting beat and just guys getting in behind the linebackers too. Especially Davion's getting more snaps now. I love Davion. I think he's got a lot of potential. Yeah. But this is going to be a learning year for him with more game reps because he just doesn't have the instincts or the football IQ yet because he didn't play for a while because of his religious beliefs. And that's just, unfortunate, but respect to him. And it's just going to take time for him to get up to speed, which is a little frustrating because ideally, I think you'd like to have your third-round linebacker know the game fairly well. But I think he probably was picked around early. But I do love Davion. I think he's an athletic freak, and I hope he can do good in the middle. I'm glad to see Eric Wilson not there anymore. I knew he wasn't going to be that good of an addition, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Hey. He a fluke, man. Look, quick thing on Wilson real quick before JC goes. They had Wilson mic'd up the first game of the season. I thought that was the most terrible thing to do. I was so mad because I was so pumped, especially after a win when I see my guys mic'd up and I see Wilson. I see this goofy dude. He didn't create anything, any type of pressure and do anything. He just really the hype man. Like it was terrible, man.
Yeah, absolutely. He is there to communicate Gannon's scheme. That is all. That's all he's here for.
So my biggest concern on offense, look, y'all said it, the run, but I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go. He needs to be able to trust his guys around him. He needs to be able, if this play is called, let the ball loose. All right. Yeah. You have to trust your receivers. You have to throw them open. Don't expect them to be wide open. You know what I mean? So he just have to trust the system, And you saw a big difference between, I hate going back to this, Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. When Nick Foles came in, he trusted the play call because his lack of, he wasn't as talented as Carson Wentz was. So he didn't have a backup to go to his, his running skills or nothing like that. So he trusted Doug Peterson. That's why we won that Super Bowl that year, because he trusted whatever play was called. I'm just going to go there because I know my guy's going to be open. I need that Jalen Hurts to do the exact same thing. I need you, whatever play is called, passing play is called, trust that your guys are going to be open. You had Devontae Smith, the best route runner in the league probably, what I mean? And trust that he's going to be there. Just trust that Rager is going to be there. Just trust that Watkins and Goddard. Just trust your guys. And on defense, my biggest concern is them being on the field too damn long. Yeah. You know what I mean? 10-minute drives, 10-play drives. If they are not on the field, if they're on the field for 7-8 minutes, by the time the fourth quarter comes, they're going to be that tired. That's why they can't get that pressure going because they're tired. And if you're on the field for 10 minutes, and that's not even real time. I mean, in real time, it's about 15 minutes that you're on the field. But our defense needs to get off the field. So I need the defense to generate the pressure, but they cannot be on the field and play this bend don't break type of defense, because lately we are playing better quarterbacks. We are playing better quarterbacks that they will break you if you let constantly
every time Yeah, every time a good quarterback or at least when it's consistent, go against us, they leave in the game with a high QBR rating. Like I said, we hella good in the pass defense, but we not getting no pressure, so they able to take the little stuff underneath. So it's a lot. And the main thing that I feel like you brought up a lot of great points, but the main thing, Coach Nick Sirianni can help out with all of that. All that. You say you don't want the defense on the field a whole lot. Run the ball.
Run
You
the
say
ball.
you want to help out the offensive line. Run the ball. A lot of the situations that the team is in is because of Nick Sirianni play calling, yo. Look, something as simple as lining up in shotgun every play automatically makes you somewhat predictable.
Yeah.
You already know where the running back can possibly go, and you already know pretty much the options that's available. They know the same options that Jalen Hurts know. The defense know his options just as well. So it's nothing. The RPO is something that's some type of trickery. Something when you got something established. Nothing is being established, and that's why I'm hoping that Coach Nick Sirianni is not this dumb, man. Because I tried to look over the rock paper scissors stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when everybody calling him goofy and everything, I'm sitting there
Yeah.
looking. I'm looking. I'm changing the perspective on how I'm looking at it and thinking like, man, this COVID season, this guy, he just want to connect with these guys on a different level. You know what I mean? That's the fan in me. That's the guy that's like, I'm reaching for things. You know what I mean? But at the time, it felt like, man, everybody just want to talk down upon us. But Coach Nick Sirianni is not making me look good at all. You know what I'm saying? Not make You got people on the NFL network just as smart and talented as anybody else saying the same thing about his offense after the game. Steve Smith, this offense, he almost said fucking terrible. But he's like, this is a high school offense. Mud's on a podcast saying this looks like a flag football offense. This looks like, yo, one thing that they all have in common: the offense for play calling is horrendous. And I'm not finna keep on watching Nick Sirianni in these press conferences saying these lame ass excuses of why he can't or do this, or we need to give Miles Sanders the ball. You the coach, you play calling. What are you talking about? We. You need to call the play calling or call the play. Line the quarterback up underneath center and call the regular play. You know how
Yeah.
frustrating it is to watch my team do a screen back to back and they all lost for yards. Just like Hunter brought up when Miles Sanders just not getting the ball at the end of the game and how he finding his rhythm. It's the same way with Jalen Hurts. If you throwing the screen on the first down, throwing the screen on the second down, first of all, those are not warm up throws or nothing like that until you start attacking. Then you want to take third down to finally attack. That ain't helping. And then on top of that, just like Hunter said, Coach Nick Sirianni takes so long to realize what he needs to do that by the third quarter, listen, I watched this guy call screens damn near the whole first half. The whole first half. Then in the third quarter, you want to start taking shots. You want to start having some routes across the middle or tight ends and everything. And then when Jalen Hurts missed his first throw, damn, that was his real first damn throw. God damn. Put them in position. Must be on the sideline shaking their head like they been calling the right plays the whole time. No, you've been putting these guys in bad positions. I'm watching guys after the play straight looking frustrated, mad, slamming their hands down because after a screen is called and the shit get blown up. They like, why do we keep on doing this? Eventually, if Coach Nick Sirianni keep on calling plays like this, guys are going to check out. They're not going to be looking at Jalen Hurts. Anybody that's real and play in the NFL, I promise you, they're going to be like, that coach is retarded. You don't think these guys in the locker room in a huddle know and talk about what the coaches be calling? I'm telling you, they like, man, this guy's goofy.
All right, so hey, give me your X factor on offense and defense going to this game, and then we're gonna go to our final game day prediction because we're about 10 minutes away from the game. Well, I mean from football
1 o'clock.
starting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1 o'clock. So hey, we're about to wrap it up. So what's your X factor on offense and defense, and then we'll go into your game day prediction.
Yeah. So my X factor on offense, I think, is I want to go with Lane Johnson just because I want to see how he is coming back. Respect to him, no problem with him taking his time off. That's a serious issue. But just in terms of football, it does take some time to get used to things. We saw even in week 1, like he did have 3 holding calls early on. So how's he going to do, especially against a defensive line that does really well off the edge? On defense, I'd like to say it's, probably, I hate to say it, but probably no, I won't go with Epps because I hope they can kind of hide him in coverage a little bit. But I'm going to go with, Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett. I think Barnett has gotten pressure but not gotten to the quarterback, even though he gets a penalty every other snap. And Josh Sweat, I've been a little quiet lately, but when he gets quiet, he tends to come up and have a little hot streak here and there. That's my guy. I love Sweaty J. So those 2 guys on defense, I think, are going to be big. And should I just give my game day prediction now?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going. Look, in my preview show, I picked the Raiders, but it's game day. I'm feeling a little different right now. Game day hit different, man. And I'm going to flip my score to the Eagles. I'm going Eagles 27-23. Let's go, Birds.
All right.
I'm gonna have to say my X factor on offense has to be Jalen Hurts. I need him to basically make do with the opportunities, man. He needs to be that X factor. If Coach Nick Sirianni called 25 bad plays and we only had 5 good opportunities, I need them opportunities that Jalen Hurts get. I need him to make do with every opportunity they get because we gonna need every opportunity for sure. And so for defense, my prediction or my X factor would have to be I'm gonna have to say Javon Hargrave. He lined up right up in the middle. I'm gonna need him to continue being that pressure, and hopefully that opens up the gates for Fletcher Cox. And if them 2 can get going in this game, it could be a long day for Derek Carr.
And your prediction?
And my prediction, I'm gonna have, man. Okay, so look, I got this little weird little thing that I do. Basically, okay. I play Madden a lot, right? Okay, so look, however I be playing in Madden before the game,
I'm the same. I did that last night.
Do you run RPOs though?
No.
Okay then.
No.
So you can't go off of that.
No. But look. It's so weird. Y'all might think I'm crazy. I promise you. I feel like my spirit is somewhat in tune with the team because however I be playing, something happens where like if I've been getting my ass blown out or shit just been fucking up, man, it looks just like on the game. You know what I mean? So, but this week, hey, I've been dominating. I've been trying to make sure Jalen Hurts been on his P's and Q's. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling a little good. The last game I played, we won. I made a guy quit. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna end the night right there. And so hopefully that's my good juju. So I'm gonna have to go my score prediction. I'm gonna have to go 28-21.
Okay, all right.
28-21 Eagles.
All right. So X factor on offense, Miles Sanders. I feel like Miles Sanders will have over 100 yards rushing this game. I feel like I'm telling you, 10 days. If you're that stupid in 10 days, you don't come up with a better game play. You deserve to not even get on the bus to flight back to Philly. You need to just go home. Hey, just quit right then and there. You had 10 days to prepare for this game after a loss, not a win, after a loss. So I think that Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell combined will have over 200 yards rushing combined. Woo. Yes, combined. That's my X factor. Those 2 guys, and then on defense, I feel like Fletcher Cox because team's gonna be paying attention to Hargrave now. Hargrave is 6.5 sacks in 6 games He's been like the number one defensive tackle in the league. So I feel like that he is going to start getting some attention, unwanted attention, and then Fletcher Cox is going to have to eat. So as far as on defense, is Fletcher Cox. The best way to stop a quarterback from using his weapons is to get him on the ground. If you're on your back, how you going to throw touchdowns? How you going to throw the ball if you're on your back? So, and my score is 27-24. I've been saying it all week, the Philadelphia Eagles 27-24. I feel like whoever team could get that one crucial turnover is going to flip the field, and that's who's going to win. So 27-24. So, hey, if y'all been watching, hey, Hunter, let them know where they could find you at. And your link is right there in the chat, but let them know where they can find you at and what you're working on.
Hey, JC, I appreciate you having me on. D Gifted. It was great rocking with you for the first time, man. And I appreciate y'all, man. Like, I do a lot of work on InsideDeagles.com, a lot of articles and such. And I'll do film breakdowns and stuff on Philly Insider Podcast. You can find me there on YouTube. So I love it. I just love talking sports. I love talking football with y'all. And that's what matters most. So I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. D?
Man, man, it's your boy D Gifted. Y'all can tune in and find me. I usually do reaction to after the game, and I do a pregame video, and then I go live. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I'm on my mission to 100 subscribers. I'm currently at 66, and I'm letting y'all know my first 100 subscribers. I'm doing a live raffle for a Brian Dawkins jersey, and it's gonna be lit. I chose Brian Dawkins because that's the reason I'm an Eagles fan today. That he's the most important guy to me. So I'm trying to show y'all he the heart. Y'all got my heart. Y'all subscribe. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. People don't know how appreciated of it that I am. And so, JC, I just appreciate you having me on the show. And Hunter, it was definitely fun doing the show with you. I love how you break down the game. I love how you talk about the game. Doing things like this is something that's hella therapeutic for me, you know what I mean? Because I'm usually a chill, laid back person, but when I'm on here, you know what I'm saying, I can vent, I can let out all my frustration that I have with the Eagles and get it all out, and now I feel good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, I appreciate both of you guys, man. Hey, whenever y'all need me, hey, y'all know where to find me. Just give me a call. Hey, look, for everybody that's watching, all my subscribers, hey, I appreciate all y'all. This show does not work without y'all. I mean, I started this show because of the Eagle fans, because of my love for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that will always be number one. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It pushes the content out and help this channel grow. So as always, you already know what we do. Go Birds and beat the Raiders.